You know that feeling, right? That little hum of anxiety in the background of your day? Ever stop and wonder where it really comes from? Well, today we're going to dive into this incredible idea from Eastern wisdom that might just flip your whole perspective on fear. We're going to talk about how fear might just be a mental mirage. Let's get into it.
So let's just start with a huge question, a really provocative one. What if all that fear, all that stuff that keeps you tossing and turning at night, what if it isn't actually real? What if it's just a story, an illusion we're accidentally creating in our own heads?
And that leads us to this core idea, the mental mirage. Okay, think about it like this. You're driving through a desert, it's hot, and up ahead you see a shimmering pool of water on the road. It looks absolutely real. You can almost feel the cool relief. But, of course, when you get there, poof, it's gone. It was never there. The wisdom we're looking at today says our fear is exactly like that. It feels so solid, so real, but it's actually a delusion. And it's created by one simple mistake. We've forgotten who we truly are.
So where does this anxiety really begin? Well, it all boils down to a classic case of mistaken identity.
See, we basically have two versions of ourselves playing out. On one side, you've got your true self. This is your core. It's that pure consciousness that just says, I am. No labels, no stories. It just exists. It's constant. But on the other side, you've got the false self. And this self is all about identification. It says, I am this. I'm a doctor. I'm a mother. I'm a failure. And here's the kicker. All our fear, every single bit of it, is born from clinging to that temporary, always changing false self.
Let's look at how this happens in stages. Stage 1 is our baseline, our ground floor. I am. That's it. This is just pure awareness. There's no story, no role to protect, and because of that, there's absolutely no fear. It's the simple, undeniable fact of your existence. It's the same you that was there when you were 5 years old. But then, we move up to stage 2. We add a label. And the second you say, I am a boss, you automatically create a boss's problems, a boss's worries. Before you had that label, you were just you. But now, with that title, comes a whole universe of expectations, duties, and, potential fears.
And the final layer, stage 3, is when we move from I am this to this is mine, my reputation, my money, my ideas. The second we claim ownership over something, the fear of losing it is born right alongside it. And since all of these things are temporary by nature, this attachment becomes a non-stop source of anxiety.
So, how can we actually see this playing out in our own minds? Well, the source material gives us this really clear, simple framework, the 4 floors of fear.
Okay, think of it like a 4-story building. The ground floor, level 1, is pure awareness, I am. Total peace, no fear lives there. But then we go up to the 2nd floor, where we identify with our needs and emotions. I am hungry. Then we go up to the 3rd floor, the mind, where we get attached. I hate this, I love that. And by the time we hit the 4th floor, the intellect, we're making all these judgments. I like you, I dislike this. We're totally caught up in our thoughts. The higher you climb in this building, the farther you get from your peaceful ground floor.
Okay, so we've diagnosed the problem. Our fear comes from getting stuck on the top floors of that building, from this mistaken identity. But here's the good news. There is a path back down. There's an ancient, super practical way to learn to see through the mirage.
And that path starts with something called satsang. Now, I know, it might sound like a complicated spiritual word, but all it really means is associating with what's real. Just think of it as a reality check. It's the simple practice of asking, over and over again, what here is real and unchanging, and what is just a temporary story I'm telling myself. It's all about learning to drop those labels and get back in touch with your true self.
One of the best tools for this reality check is a meditation technique, and it's organized with this super helpful acronym, breath. And this isn't just about chilling out. It's a very specific, step-by-step process for building the awareness you need to finally separate yourself from your thoughts and fears.
Now, that whole practice is amazing, but let's not get overwhelmed. Let's just zoom in on the first 3 steps, because honestly, these are the real game changers. First, you build your inner ground. That just means feeling your body. Feel your feet on the floor, your hands in your lap. Get present. Second, you return your senses inward. Instead of focusing on everything happening out there, you start to notice what's happening in here. And third, this is the big one, you experience the observer. You have this light bulb moment where you realize, wait a minute, I'm not my thoughts. I'm the one watching my thoughts.
Here's probably the best way to picture it. Your thoughts, your emotions, your fears, they're like traffic on a busy street. They're just cars coming and going. You don't have to run out and jump in front of every car.
You can just be the person standing calmly on the sidewalk, simply watching it all go by. Creating that little bit of space, that's where all the freedom is.
But this isn't just something you do for 10 minutes on a meditation cushion. This is about transforming your day, moment by moment, choice by choice.
We're all walking around with two possible minds we can use. There's the default mind, which runs on autopilot. You know this one. It's reactive, it gets anxious, it's quick to complain and blame. But we also have access to the discerning mind. This one is aware, it's peaceful, it makes conscious choices instead of just reacting. And every single day, and every conversation, and every moment of frustration, we get to choose which one is running the show.
And that's really the question, isn't it? It's not about suddenly becoming some perfect, enlightened person overnight. Not at all. It's just about catching yourself. When you feel that knee-jerk reaction bubbling up, can you just pause and choose the discerning mind over the default one? Which mind are you going to choose for the rest of today? There's this quote from the source material that just nails this whole idea perfectly. I am living in the house does not mean I am the house. I am driving this body does not mean I am the body. Your mind, your emotions, your body, they are all incredible tools. They're the vehicle you get to drive through life, but they are not you. You are the driver. And when you really get that, everything changes. So, I want to leave you with this one big thought to just let percolate. When you strip away all of the labels, your job title, your family role, your political beliefs, your personal history, when all of that is gone, what's left? Who are you, really, when you are simply, I am? Just sitting with that question? Well, that's the real start of the journey to fearlessness.